What is up, friends? This is Casey with the Jones Holder and Fouts House, and today I thought that I would share with you how I took my Grandma Bonnie's piano apart and cleaned it up before the tuner had to come and see just how gross it was. So guys, I'm not gonna lie, this was a really fun adventure. I watched a couple YouTube videos and decided I can do this. I can do this. It just takes a screwdriver and some patience. And so I'm struggling right there to get the keys out, but I realized very quickly this is gonna have to happen. For those of you who are gonna ask, obviously you can see this is a Dyson. This is the animal one. I think it's called Fluffy. If I remember, I'll post that information down in the bottom for you. It was very satisfying to see all the dust and to be able to vacuum it up. I was very pleased with my ability to use my Dyson at this moment. I certainly do not want to bore you guys, so I have sped up quite a bit of this video so you don't have to watch me clean in the actual paste that I was cleaning, because let's be honest, my cleaning skills are a bit botchy and I have a tendency to be too slow about it, hence why I don't really like to clean. So as you can see here, I am carefully pulling out each of the keys. I'm doing about 3 at a time. It just kind of depends on how many ivories and how many blacks I was pulling out. So if there were like several of the black keys, I was able to do 4, but it just kind of depended on how I was pulling them out. You'll notice I'm very carefully lifting and then also having to lift from behind. That's because they have at least 3 places that those keys gently fit over. I want to call them nails. They're definitely not screws, but they're definitely not a nail. I don't know. Prong? Who knows? Piano people know. Guys, I got really excited as I started finding things underneath here. Golly gosh, there was so much dust, but there was also some really cool little mementos that probably won't mean anything to anybody else as I share them with you at the end of the video, but they almost caused me to bawl like a baby. I was tearing up quite a bit as I would find each piece. And yeah, memories. So I was about 9 years old when my Grandma Bonnie taught me the beginnings of the piano lessons, which were like really, really simple, learning keys, learning counts, that kind of thing. Understanding, the different kinds of staffs, treble clef, bass clef, measures, that kind of thing, tempos, just some basic stuff, right? I decided at 12 that I was too cool to learn the piano any longer. And I honestly never looked at a piece of sheet music other than to read the words while I was in choir or anything, and that's about it, right? And then in junior high, in 7th grade, so I was about 13, 14 years old, I decided to play flute, and wouldn't you know, music for the flute is written in the same key as it would be for piano. So I was very excited to have at least clean knowledge for that, and never thought that I would ever pick up the piano again. And then shortly after inheriting it from my father, I would have to say in the last month, I have learned 6 pieces, and I'm quite proud of myself, seeing how I haven't played piano since I was 12. Guys, look at all of the dust. It was so dusty. It was very satisfying to clean up though, I'm not gonna lie. So I come in with my handy dandy Dyson and realize, gosh, this is an awful lot for me to just suck up. See how thick that is? By the way, those were bobby pins. So there was no way for me to actually absorb all of that into my vacuum, not without causing it to like hardly breathe. So I just went ahead and swept it up by finger. This is where I found a lot of cool things, and I'm gonna try not to get emotional But guys, my grandparents, just like everybody else's, I'm sure, they meant so much to me. And what I am discovering in that little bitty corner on the right is one of my grandpa's guitar picks. See, my grandma Bonnie was the piano player for their church, the church that my grandpa would preach at, and my grandpa played the guitar with her when they would have worship nights and stuff. And it was such a cool way to grow up. Every Christmas we would sit down with Grandma Bonnie and she would, look into the bobby pin, guys. She would play Christmas songs and then we would start singing just good old gospel hymns. And those are my memories. That was a dime. I think it was pretty cool. The date on that dime is just 1977, so it's nothing super, super old, but it is at least 3 years older than myself, so that's pretty significant, maybe? Interesting. I don't know why this was very satisfying for me, but wadding up all the dust was pretty nice. I really liked it. And that was the key of D. So in the front of all of my books that my grandma Buddy had given me, there were, like, you could cut out the keys and place them on your piano key to kind of remind you as you're reading your music where the keys were at. I don't know that I actually use those. Mine are still intact inside all my books, so maybe they were just from other students that she had taught through the years. But D must have been difficult for people because there are 2 Ds that I found in the piano. Yeah, so I'm not going to bore you with my continually slow vacuuming efforts here. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this pace up for you guys. I do want to caution you, if you are vacuuming this, just know that those fragile little green tips that you guys see, they may not actually be very green on your screen. They are very, very breakable. So I ended up snapping a middle of the keys B flat, and I ended up completely like shredding one on my highest C. So please, please, please do not clean the way I clean. Easily enough, the guy that came to tune my piano, he fixed both of those, no problems. He was also able to get in there, and he had noticed that one of my strings only had one of them, like one of the keys that you would strike with a hammer, only had one string and it needed to have 2, so he was able to get in there and restring that. That was not me, I did not break that one, but it was still very cool that he was able to get in there and fix the things that I had broken, and even to catch something that I had not realized was not broken. He said it would have been fine if I had just left it with one string, but to have 2 just meant it had a more solid hold, a solid key. I hope I'm saying that right. My tuner came all the way from Jeff City. He happens to be a native of the Jackson area and comes down to this area once a month to do piano tuning. So I just asked if he could come down to my house the next time he was in the area, and he did. Super affordable, guys. It was less than $100 for the piano to be tuned. He didn't have anything to do with the cleaning. I just was like, I should probably get in there and clean. Maybe that's why my keys sound like they aren't. Some of them were not able to actually make a very solid strike because we had so much dust around those little pieces that I'm cleaning right now. Let me speed this up for you guys so you're not so stuck having to watch every little bit of it. Just in case you guys haven't been able to tell, I switched from my Dyson to the shop vac, and that's because later it's going to need to be blown out, and I don't have a way to reverse the air in the Dyson, so I got my husband shop vac. Here is more of the disassembly of the piano in order to get back there and get closer to the hammers and where they strike the actual strings. So you'll have to see me gently love and beat this piano. Mom, Dad, I promise I took the very best care of it. All right, so that takes off the top and you can kind of see the strings in the background. They are definitely very cool to look at. I was so fascinated. So you're gonna see me get behind there, and I'm gonna do a little bit of vacuuming on the tips of the hammers where they come down on the felt. I'm not really sure that those have any purpose other than so that they don't hammer back or strike down really hard on that piece of wood. So, but they were really dusty, so I just thought it was important to vacuum them up. Go ahead and speed this up for you guys. It was very satisfying getting all of that dust out of there. It was just super awesome. This is where I snapped one of the strings. Okay, you will see that I have pressure on the tip of it so that I could blow air through it a little bit more accelerated. It was just enough pressure to help blow off some of the dust. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that much dust to still be in there, and had so much dusting to recover from. Even like 2 weeks later, I was still like, where the heck is this dust coming from? I realized it's probably from the piano. Okay guys, check this out. This is the first key that I'm putting back in. Look at that. Look at that. I know that's probably disgusting to you guys, but to me, it meant a lot because that is the oils from the fingertips and dust from the fingers of the people who played this piano. And that is a grand total of my Grandma Bonnie, my Grandpa King, my Aunt Bethel, my Aunt Sheila, and then all of us grandkids, and then my grandma's great grandkids, which are my children, my nephew Brody. And in the instruction guide, in the YouTube videos that I watched, it's just as simple as taking a damp cloth and if you'd like to use a very mild soap, they say you can. I was worried about using a very mild soap because I did not want to damage the wood, the glue that's attaching the ivory key to it, all that stuff. So, yeah, I was so excited. I realized very quickly that I had not even thought about wiping down the wood and where the dust could have settled. So just getting in there, wiping down some of the crevices, again with just a lightly damp rag. I mean, like not even, there's more dried than damp on that rag. Not wanting to bore you guys with like showing you how I clean each and every key on this piano, but I wanted you to see the difference between the ivories and the blacks. They are definitely smaller, a little narrower, and they did not show as much dirt, but they were really, really dirty. Like I said before, just gonna show you some of the basics of the keys, see how dirty they are at the very base. Just scrubbing them up with a little elbow grease, get them clean, dried up, putting them in its place. But I won't make you watch this at full speed, so we'll increase it. As I know some of you might end up asking about this, the contraption you can see that's kind of on my hip and back, that is a heart monitor. I'm currently being monitored. I have a incredibly fast heart rate these days. You can see how dirty these keys are. And that is the finished product. I got all of the keys wiped down and put back in, and this is the lovely piano. Now guys, inside I found so many lovely things. Obviously I talked about those keys. So I found 2 of the Ds. I have no idea what this is, but I don't want to get rid of it in case it's something very important. I would like to show my dad all these things before anything happens. Probably going to put them in a shadow box. Both my grandfather, my dad, and several of my uncles are all vets. That's that 1977 dime that I was talking about. The bobby pins. These are what make me choke up almost every time. Guys, my Grandpa King was the coolest. So this probably isn't very important to anybody else, but I recognize my Grandma Bonnie's handwriting. I'm pretty sure this is just a piece of dirt from a dirt dauber's nest, but you know. And that is a part of a hymnal.
I'm trying not to be emotional. I just want to thank you guys so much for just watching me go through this family heirloom and clean it up. This piano means so much to me. As a child, I stood around it and I sang with my grandparents all the time. My grandma was the piano player for her church, and my grandpa played guitar. And to have those memories is one thing, but to have the piano that we used to sing with as a family, that is something completely different. And I feel so blessed to be able to take that heirloom and to be able to pass it down to my children. Who knows, maybe I'll play a little ditty for you guys one day. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. I probably won't be cleaning this monster anytime soon, maybe another year or 2 from now. I have had it tuned just recently, so it does play very beautifully. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button for me, and that way you get notifications each time that I post videos. If you'd like to see more things similar to me cleaning the piano, give me some kind of comment below and let me know what you guys are thinking. I appreciate each and every one of you, and you have a blessed and wonderful week.